Welcome back to Primetime. I guess we failed to announce off the top. This is a Ropless edition. You've probably figured that out by now. But Rob out dealing with some family stuff today. We think he'll be back next week. So you get an SOB edition today. Suke, Ortner, and Buckley. Will is back there once again.
It's a Yang Bong edition, man. This is all about the Yonger.
It is all about the Yang Bong.
And we've been told now, hey, he's ready to go.
So the first thing I thought of when I heard that is how often you reference Joe Cronin saying that Scoot was ready to go.
This is the only part of this press conference, and it didn't go on, and I was impressed with the young man, but it's a press conference.
Yeah, there's not much you're going to get from it. I thought what Chauncey said there, though, about him being ready and them not being afraid to play him now.
It scares the living hell out of me, because it's the one thing that time and time again, this organization, and this isn't just a Chauncey and Joe Cronin thing, and this goes all the way back. I'll go back to Zach Collins. I'll go back to Luke Babbitt. The amount of times, and I get why you say this crap. I do. Because when you draft someone, you believe in him. But, and I don't know, because I mean, obviously we're not listening to press conferences from around the country outside of maybe like a Cooper Flag thing. So, maybe the Utah Jazz are having the same thing. But boy, we love to put expectations on our own players. And to me, if you're drafting a kid at 16 that's clearly a flyer that most people thought was a second-round pick, I just don't understand the benefit unless you just are that confident to go out and say that, no, dude, we expect him to play. We expect him to contribute. We're not going to bring him on slowly. This kid is ready to play now. That's not quite generational talent. Scoot Henderson, he's not going to struggle at all.
Yeah.
And Zach Collins.
They're different statements, for sure.
I did think it was interesting that
it's a little bold.
They did not, and they never have. They've never shied away from, kind of, I said, iron balls McGinty this thing and throw him out there on the table and be like, no, he's ready to go. So when you tell me that, and this is why I stick by what you say. If you tell me that someone's ready to go,
and then he plays 8 games this season and spends the rest of it with the remix,
then I think that's horse crap.
Yep.
When you tell me that Scoot's ready to go, and then a month layer you're telling me how patient I need to be, why? You told me.
And no one made you do that.
Yes, these are your words. So I've never understood the puffing out your chest, but, here we kind of ended up doing it again. So if I am to believe the Portland Trailblazers, I have been told that this is a playoff team, right? This is not a rebuild. This is, according to Chauncey, this isn't a play-in team. This is a playoff team.
Yeah, baby.
Right? And that your 16 pick is coming to play, that he is going to be a rotational player and he's going to be ready to hit the ground running. And those are your words. Those aren't my expectations. I base my expectations largely off of what you tell me. So that's the only thing about this press conference where I was a little like, yeah, well, it's bold. There's a big difference between being 19 and playing in the Chinese Basketball Association and yamming on dudes that are 6'1", and then coming to the NBA and being 7'2", and now being expected to guard and defend people and the athleticism. If there's one question I think that the Yang Bong has, it's, does his athleticism...
Can he move well enough to do this right now?
Can he move well enough? Because we know he's got good hands. We know he's got the vision. We know he can pass. We know he can shoot a little bit.
But keeping up with the NBA bigs is different than keeping up with the Chinese League bigs.
Yes, and that's what I want to see. But according to the Blazers, this isn't a problem, and they trust him, and he can play right now.
So I was listening to my favorite morning show yesterday, Dirt and Sprague, and they were having just the interesting discussion, I think, of now, from what you've heard about Yang, from what you've heard from the team and from analysts, as a fan, what kind of numbers, appearance-wise, would you be pleased with? Because clearly people are saying he needs polish, so you expect there's going to be some time in the G League, mostly so he can play a ton of minutes. Yeah. But so how much, as a fan, if you've been kind of promised this great game and readiness, are you expecting to see him this year?
Yeah, that I guess I'll have to wait and see. One, again, what we do with the roster.
Yeah.
Or I said what they do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to make any sort of
you
grandiose
Joe
decisions.
Call, right?
But, I mean, as of right now, you would assume that he is your 4th or 5th best center. Like, whatever you think of DeAndre Ayton.
He's a better pro center than Young right now. No question.
DeAndre Ayton's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you can think that dude's a jackass.
That might be true.
That guy's a 20-10 guy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like DeAndre Ayton is
When
a
he cares, he's great.
yes, DeAndre Ayton is a difference maker. And then Donovan Clingan is a defensive force right now.
Mhm.
Can't play more than 20 minutes without having a
Mhm.
heart attack, but the dude's an NBA champion,
He's certainly ahead of Young.
and he had a solid rookie year.
Mhm.
When Robert Williams is healthy, which is never, but when he is healthy, Robert Williams anchored an NBA champion.
Yeah.
So, and then you get into Duop Reith, and okay, so
And, like,
maybe
he's played more than Young, but,
but
he's not the pedigree that
so at best, right now, this is clearly your fourth or fifth best player at that position.
Yeah.
He's not playing the four. He's got one position to play on the floor. So
and if you're fourth, you got no business just sitting up here on Portland's bench.
no. So if this is going to be the roster until the trade deadline, then no, Young needs to be in the G League and need to be playing every night. And if he's in the G League, he needs to dominate. Because no offense to the G League, but if you've seen some of the numbers the dude's put up, like Bronny for a while there was putting up 20 plus in the G League, and
Yeah.
the dude can't sniff a bucket in the NBA. So
Right.
if he goes down to the G League, I expect him to be a dominant player. And then maybe as the trade deadline gets closer and we move out Ayton and Williams, I would assume, then I would hope that Young is able to be a guy that can come in and give you, 15 plus minutes a night. For all of Klingon stuff, his big conditioning thing, the Chinese Basketball Association plays more games,
Mhm.
and Young plays more minutes than Klingon ever did in college. Now I get there's a difference between, the athleticism and having the bigs lean on you, but this is a guy supposedly that the gas tank should be able to
A
handle
little fuller.
should be able to handle 15 plus minutes a night. So I guess that's my thing
Mhm.
is CBA or excuse me, the G League and really show something. And then when the roster spots open up, I would expect him to come in and be a primary backup to Donovan Clingan and give you 15 plus minutes a night. And then whatever sort of production that brings you.